The following video covers the Anima Mundi, the Demiurge, and Animism. The origin of the concept of Anima Mundi comes from Plato, and what it translates to is the world soul. Anima means soul. It is the animating force within all of creation, all of the living cosmos, and Mundi is of the world. According to Platonic philosophy and our obvious experience, the world is not a perfect place. Things in this realm are imperfect and temporary. But here's the thing. We can imagine perfect, eternal things. For example, a perfect square has 4 sides of equal length, it has 4 right angles, and the opposite lines are exactly parallel to each other. A perfect square exists in 2 dimensions, and it is eternal as a concept. But in this material world, a perfect square has not and will never exist. Every representation we have of a square is imperfect. So where did the idea of a perfect square come from? This is a quote from Plato speaking through Socrates. A man cannot inquire either about that which he knows or about that which he does not know. For if he knows, he has no need to inquire. And if not, he cannot, for he does not know the very subject about which he is to inquire. This is the idea of anamnesis, that in order for us to understand things and interpret things and inquire about things, we would have already known all of this knowledge beforehand, before we were born into the material world. In order for us to recognize crude representations of perfect squares, we would have known about what a perfect square was from before we were born. Our eternal soul already knows all of the knowledge that is. So if before we were incarnated into this material world, where did we come from? Well, in Platonic philosophy, we came from the realm of forms, the place where all of the ideals, the perfect ideals, exist. And our minds are still somehow connected to that place because we can imagine these things. We can imagine in our minds things that do not exist in the material world. So where did this material world come from? That's where the Demiurge comes in. The Demiurge, according to Plato, is the craftsman behind this material universe. It is not a person, a human being who crafted things in his workshop. This is the process by which, the intelligence behind this material world. But more specifically, the Demiurge created the Anima Mundi, where things from the realm of forms can get translated into the material world. In the same way, our souls can know about knowledge that exists beyond this material world. The world soul does the same thing on the macro scale. While the Demiurge was the creator who put this in place, the Anima Mundi is what animates this living cosmos. So all that is animated in this material world is part of the world soul. In Hermetic philosophy, which was heavily inspired by Plato, there's a saying, as above, so below. And this relates to our souls and the world soul. As above, so below, as below, so above. We are a microcosm reflection of the macrocosm. In this philosophy, the Demiurge isn't an evil god like he became in Gnosticism. In Gnosticism, they took the idea of the Demiurge from Plato, and they said that that was the God of the Old Testament that created the world in 6 days. But according to Plato, it's just an imperfect creator because his creation is imperfect. As I said before, things here are temporary. They don't quite reach the ideals that we know of in our soul. Animism, which I talk about quite often on here, is an approach to reality where you recognize that you are a small part of a vast living cosmos, and this directly comes from Plato and the Anima Mundi. Animism comes from the root anima. Some people think that animism comes from the word animal, but animal and animism share the same root, anima, which means soul. We call animals animals because we recognize that they possess a soul, and animism recognizes that soul everywhere, the world soul. And this is different than the concept of Gaia, or the Lovelock's Gaian hypothesis, because that gives a living essence to the earth itself, that the earth acts as a living organism. The world soul, the Anima Mundi, is the entire cosmos. Gaia would be part of the Anima Mundi. And I'll come back to the word monism. All of this is made of the same substance because, as we know, this world is temporary, this universe. It's made of temporary things, but it is also eternal. While I am temporary and all that which is around me is temporary, the stuff that makes us up is eternal. It cannot be created or destroyed, to use scientific terminology. It's still built out of the eternal substance, the monistic oneness at the end of all being. We are all fundamentally made out of the good.